again, everyone, live from the Blacksmith Restaurant in downtown Jackson. It's the USJ Coaches Show. Tonight we're focusing on volleyball, but before we get to our first two guests tonight, we just want to... I'm sorry, we're talking about soccer tonight.
Wow.
Forgive me, everyone.
No problem.
I had volleyball on the mind for some reason or another. We are focusing on USJ soccer tonight.
Football.
Football.
Real
That's
football.
Football.
Real
We-
football.
We will say football. That's right. I do want to mention before we get to our guest here tonight, before they get me out of here, we are so proud again of the USJ Bruins for their victory last Friday night. Of course, we had the coaches with us last Wednesday night as they defeated Trinity Christian Academy 28-19. I'll let you all know that right here on the BallGame Blitz Sports Network, we will be back live on Friday night at Jackson Christian for that all-important matchup, even though it's non-region. It's the rivalry again, USJ against Jackson Christian. And sitting in for me this week will be a great colleague of mine, Stephen Aldridge. He'll be bringing you the play-by-play of this week's game. So be sure to tune in. We'll have the pregame at 6:45 and then the kickoff at 7 tonight. Better yet, be there in person for Friday night's game. Now that I've got the sport right, it's so good to have Coach Paul Conway and Coach Matt Pledger with us tonight, and glad to have you both with us. Give us just really a thumbnail, if you will, to start out with about this USJ soccer team that you have this year.
Well, we appreciate you having us on here. We always appreciate our girls getting a bit of limelight. They often don't get the credit they deserve for as good as they are. So very, very excited about the group we have this year. We're obviously coming off back-to-back state titles. That's actually the fourth in the program's history. So to have one in this area is quite good. To have four is pretty special. So, this year is going to be a challenge, no doubt about it, but we've got a really exciting little group and a bit of experience mixed with some good youth, and we're kind of excited about the rest of the season.
Now, tell everybody how you and Matt divide up the responsibilities.
He does it all. He does it
all.
all. I just got to stand there
show up.
and nod my head. I'm a yes man.
We talked about having a band in here, so when he tells his jokes, we go,
there you go.
No, but how does it? What do you both focus on?
Well, to be honest with you, I think we work very well together. Myself and Matt go back a number of years. We both
almost 30 years, almost. Yeah,
we both graduated from Lambeth University. We played soccer there.
Neither one of you looked like it was 30
well,
years.
Well, it was. It's 27 since
now.
I think he came over here.
It's just no way.
I know.
See?
Well, thank you. I appreciate. I'll give you a check
thank you very much. Yes.
But we, so we go back a long way. So we've had a friendship before we obviously became we worked together. So in the program itself, I think we're very involved in the running of the training. We keep the group together. We've got a large group of girls. Now, Coach Pledger's specialty is a little bit on the goalkeeper side.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of let him talk about that. But we really do have a very, I think, fluid kind of coaching roles together. We both know what's needed, and I think we work well together, making sure that the girls are prepared.
Yeah,
Matt, tell me before we get into this team itself, because we're going to have them with us here in this segment and then in the final segment, but we're going to visit with four of the Lady Bruins players tonight, and you'll get to meet them up close and personal. But Matt, going back to the history that the two of you have with each other, how does that really help? Because you have that much experience, and as we have, thank you very much, and come back to see us.
Yeah.
How
has that really helped for you to have this kind of cohesion when you're coaching?
Well, first of all, I know Paul, for a very long time. He was a great player, but he's even a better coach. He's a great guy. I mean, he really, truly, truly is. And USJ, I think, is lucky to have someone like him at the head of a program and I think, obviously, soccer is a team game. It's a player's game, but you have to have somebody at the head that can lead and get the most out of the players. And I think Paul is – there's none better, I don't think. So
tell me, when you start a season, and let's just say newcomers as you're going to have every year to a team, how much have they played in youth soccer before they come to play for you?
Well, soccer's really grown in this area in Jackson, Tennessee. Obviously, the Jackson Soccer Club have been a big component to that. And I'd even go back to the when we were there, the recreation program, Susan Blackman was involved for a number of years. So much has changed here within Jackson itself, and we've been very fortunate. And I think USJ was on the front lines of that. We really began, and particularly on the female side, on the women's side, it was okay for girls to play and compete. And soccer was a natural fit for a lot of girls. So this program has been really successful. But we were, Coach Leonardi, who was previously here, he was a big component of developing game at the younger age. So we continue to try and grow that, encourage our players, whether it's in the lower school or middle school, to play the game as often as they can. Because if you only play for 2-3 months of the year when we see it, it's just not enough. And there's avenues out there for them to go play. We're fortunate to have Coach Castro in the middle school, who does an incredible job. So I think overall we're always looking for ways to give those players an opportunity to go and develop, and there's plenty of them in Jackson now, which is exciting.
So much is discussed today about team culture in every sport that we have. Tell us how you go about developing that culture.
Well, I mean, it all starts with the girls. It was having a great group of girls together who encourage each other. Who they're all competitors. They want to be the very best they can be. But at the end of the day, it's all about being good people. And I think the chance, giving them the opportunity to lead and show leadership on the field and off the field, and they've shown there's none better than this group of girls at doing that. And I think that's good to see that. So,
Paul, walk us through what a practice is like. When from the time that they get there in the afternoon for practice, walk us through how they do, what they do.
There's a lot of yelling. Do we need to?
Normally I never done that before.
Not at all. No. Not at all.
I was going to start yelling at him, but he was so nice. I can't do it anymore.
These guys have got an act.
Not at all. I think.
Listen,
I think like with everything, I think we're fortunate because we're part of an academic institution. So as coaches, our job, I think, is as much as it is to let them play, is to grow them, is to see them get better. So our practices have to have a little challenge to them. They have to be able to ask the players the right type of questions, and we're not going to answer them. We want them to go ahead and answer those questions in practice that hopefully will help them in the game. So there has to be, if there's something specific that we feel like we need to address from a game, we'll focus on that and maybe in the practice, but we'll do it in a manner that's maybe a bit challenging for the players, because we want them at the end of it to say, kind of, we're figuring this out, and coach isn't the one, answering all the questions. So I think that's the goal as always, because we've got some really bright girls. We're very fortunate at our school. So we kind of lean on the mission of the school, if you will, of pursuing excellence. And to do that, we've got to make sure when the players come, we're ready to go and we're ready to challenge them, just like they are in the classroom. So that's always the goal of ours, is to make sure our players get challenged.
In case you have just logged on, this is the USJ Coaches Show, live from downtown Jackson, Tennessee, at the Blacksmith Restaurant, and we are visiting with Coach Paul Conway and Coach Matt Pledger of the USJ girls soccer team. And so let's look in this and explore it, Matt, just even more so when you're looking at, and as Paul just mentioned, you got an academic institution here. How do you set the tone for your team that really shows that they want to emphasize academics as well as their athletics?
I don't think we really have to. I think these girls are driven. Most of them understand that, academics always comes first. Soccer obviously plays a huge part in that. Athletics plays a huge part in that. But they know they're at school first to get an education, to become college ready, and then for what comes after college.
Paul, trying to dovetail up on that, particularly after you've had players who are experienced in the program, how much does that leadership help to incorporate the younger girls who come into the program?
Yeah, it's very important, because we keep hearing the term a team, and for us that if you isolate it and just talk about the teammate, what does that look like, and who is that person? And you have a responsibility to your teammate. So if you're not pulling your weight in the classroom, if you're not acting correctly away from the field, if you're not working hard, if you're not trying to get better, you're not being a good teammate. So we're always challenging each individual to understand their role within the team. And I think there's moments where that will allow for leadership to develop. If they don't see a player that might be fulfilling what they're capable of doing, maybe they're able to address that themselves, so they have ownership of the team themselves. So you try to find leadership through that, and I think we are fortunate. Matt said it already. We do already have a group of players that they're involved in so much in the school, not just in the classroom, but in student body stuff and government stuff, student government stuff. There's so much going on that they already have a leadership kind of leadership qualities.
Yeah.
And we try to assess that if we can and use it to our advantage on the field, and I think it works for the most part.
Matt, why do you think soccer has grown to the level that it has? Because I remember when the pro leagues first came into America in the 60s, and it was a hard sell for network television at that point in time, and it was hard to get people, unless Pele was coming over to play in a game. It was hard to get people out to the games. But now everybody, even the smallest towns, have a team. You got travel ball, whatever there is that goes along with that. Why has it grown to the level
it is
that
the
has?
global game. It is the global game. It's played in every country around the world, every little corner, every little community. And I think a lot of that, obviously you talked about Pele, then some other people, other big stars came later, David Beckham, and obviously you look at the phenomenon that's Lionel Messi now in our country, which is huge. But also I think, as technology's gotten greater, the world's gotten smaller, people are more aware of what's out there. And, years ago when I was a kid, I was a soccer player. There would occasionally be early Saturday morning, there might be, at the time, a first division match from England on there, but now I can just turn on my computer and watch a match any time of the day, any place in the world, or on television. I can get up and watch on USA, watch English Premier League every Saturday and Sunday morning. So I think accessibility, I think that's a huge part of it.
Steve, you keep calling it soccer.
It's football, I know.
We're going to get you there.
F-U-T-B-O-L. I get that. I like these guys here because they really make this interesting and fun.
But I do
his
think
accent.
just to lean on what Matt was saying, when I first got to Jackson, it was 96, and we were literally knocking on doors to get people to play. And a lot of people used to say when their kids started to play, soccer wasn't around when I was growing up. And I think now all of a sudden you have probably even some of our own girls, I'm sure, will tell you their parents, they never played soccer, but now they're the biggest fans. So the game is there to really encapsulate, I think, a lot more a kind of diverse group, if you will, where before it might have been catered to a more, let's just say, immigrant type of. But now it's a bit more diverse. It's around, and it is more popular. It's probably never going to match up with some of the other sports, but there's great value to it, I think, for young players wanting to play a sport. And then we're in a situation where our league, MLS, has grown. We have soccer-specific stadiums. Really exciting stuff, So it's a good time to be in soccer, I think, in this country.
Well, let's look at it from this standpoint. And you consider about, both of you have told me that you really met at Lambeth University when you played. What was it for each one of you at that point in time? What was it that made soccer appeal to you? And we got about 2 minutes left in this segment.
Soccer was always it's always what I've done. I grew up in Ireland, so in Ireland it was just you walk. We would kick a ball before we catch a ball. I think that's a big cultural difference maybe. So soccer is just always something that it was always a part of me. Got the opportunity here through Lambeth, and I've kind of been able to make soccer my life since I've been here through coaching. So.
I think I was just drawn to it. I was a fairly athletic kid, not overly fast, so I ended up going into the goal playing in soccer. I was a goalkeeper, so I had pretty good hands. I could leap and pretty fearless. So it was just kind of a natural fit for me for that position in a game that I really enjoy playing and love being around.
They say you have to be crazy to be a goalkeeper. I'm just saying. I'm not calling them anything.
And I'll be honest.
You wouldn't say
no good goalkeeper I've ever been around is not just a little crazy.
It's like what they say about broadcasters.
Yeah, you got it.
I believe me, I know the story on that one. You can tell how much fun this has been, and so we're going to have them back in our final segment. But when we come back here on the USJ Coaches Show, we're going to meet a couple of the young ladies who are part of that great soccer program at USJ. So everybody at home, please stay with us live from the Blacksmith Restaurant in downtown Jackson.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Is your vehicle ready for an oil change? Did you know that we do way more than just tires? From brakes, to belts, to alignments, to even air conditioning work. Engine light on? We can fix that too. Come see us today at one of our 3 King Tire Company locations in Jackson and Humboldt.
If it's black, round, and rolls, we have it in stock for you. I'm Taylor at King Tire Company. Come see us at any of our 3 convenient locations in Jackson or Humboldt and let our family take care of yours.
I have to get the mic back up. Now I think you can hear me. We do want to thank all of our fine sponsors who support all of USJ sports here on our streaming network, on the BallGame Blitz Sports Network. We encourage you to go by and patronize them and tell them how much you appreciate that. Also, we want to thank you for particularly supporting all of our telecast right here at the Blacksmith Restaurant every Wednesday night at 7:30 on the USJ Coaches Show. And it's my pleasure now to talk to a couple of young ladies who are both of them seniors here on the USJ girls soccer team. We have on the far left over here Kinley Hines and Mia Powell. Ladies, it's good to have you with us.
Thank you.
All right. I said I was going to make this easy for you, but you got to talk a little bit to help me out.
Okay.
All right. Kinley, let's talk about this as a senior. What was it, and I'm going to ask you the same thing, Mia.
Okay.
Yeah, and we want to get the microphone as close to your mouth as you can. Yeah, that way. It's an easy thing for us to do as broadcasters, but we'll try to help you guys along as we go. But, Kinley, what was it that first made you want to play soccer?
Well, I've been playing since I was like 6 years old with the same people, and we've grown up together.
6 years old.
Yes, sir.
What? Who influenced you to go in that direction, or was it just you thought the game was great?
I think my parents just put me in soccer, and I just stuck with it all the way through.
And so you just had a love for the game from the get-go.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, how about you, Mia?
I was put in it when I was like 4 or 5 into Jaws, and I think I was just put in it. I was doing cartwheels around.
Yeah.
But just stuck with it.
And it just really just stayed with you from
Yes,
all the
sir.
way through. That's fantastic. Now, tell everybody at home what position you played.
I played defensive midfield.
Okay, defensive midfield, and you?
I've been playing forward and midfield.
Okay.
A little bit of both.
All right, now I'm going to have you walk us through a couple of things about that. Okay, first off, as a defensive midfielder, what is your primary responsibility? Because there's a lot of people who watch soccer, but they don't necessarily understand it. So tell us what your responsibility is.
Well, I sit right in front of the defensive line, and I'll stand there's 3 of us in the midfield, so I play more of a defensive position than attacking. So I kind of play some balls forward and defend more than attack.
Okay, now Mia, how about you? Both positions that you play.
For forward, it's just shoot and dribble a little more, and then midfield, it's more like you see the field.
Yeah.
And you pass more out.
Okay,
But
so
both
you're looking at the
defensive.
big picture of
Yes,
everything
sir.
when you're in that kind of situation. All right. Now, I got a question, and either one of you can answer this one, but probably the most frequently asked questions that people have about soccer, if they're just a casual fan and they don't know it. What constitutes offsides?
That's funny.
It's like. I'm bad
Now,
at
see, she's
explaining.
having trouble.
I can. It's just hard to. It's when the defense, the defensive line,
Mm-hmm.
if you are in front of it without the ball. You
Okay.
can dribble past it.
Okay, it's when you you don't have the ball as a key to this, right?
But if someone else passes it while you're behind the line,
Okay.
but you meet it, it's fine.
Okay.
You just have to majority stay behind the defensive line.
Both of you are seniors, and I know you're looking forward to graduation, and I'm going to talk to you more about that. But tell us what that means to you to be in a position to be leaders on this team, and particularly for the younger ones who are just coming up into the varsity program. Start with you, Kinley.
Yes, sir. It's a great opportunity to be a leader on the team because I've just looked up to the leaders, like as a freshman, like as an underclassman, I looked up to the leaders, and I just followed in their footsteps, and I thought it was a great season that we've been having. And so I think it's a great just to mentor the younger people so they can look up to us as seniors.
Mia, how about you?
Same, have somebody to look up to. Just like more encourage them as well as put them in their place.
Yeah.
But like in a nicer way, and just lead the team.
Well, so you got to have somebody who's going to
Yes, sir.
get everybody pushed forward
Yes,
in
sir.
situations like that. All right, now let's talk about the two of you personally, and I'll start with Mia this time just so you won't think I'm going strictly to the left hand first. But let's talk about your family. Tell us about your family, how many are in it, and brothers, sisters, tell us about that.
I'm living with my mom and my stepdad, and I have 3 brothers. I have 3 stepbrothers. All
wow.
older than me.
There's more than the Brady Bunch.
Yes, sir. And we're huge on sports. Like that's what our household revolves around, all kind of sports.
Okay, so you're the only girl.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you get picked on the most, or does that drift to somebody else?
More when I was younger, but there's a big age gap
Yeah.
with majority of my brothers, so not bad.
Where do you fit? Where, as far as your age is concerned in the family?
My oldest brother's 11 years older than me, and
Okay.
then it's 8, and then it's 6 years.
Okay.
With my real brothers.
All right, you got the whole,
Oh, yeah.
just the whole combination with that. Kinley, how about you and your family?
I have 4 members in my family. I have my mom and my dad, and then I have a younger brother. He's a freshman on the football team, and his name's Sam.
All right, yeah, and tell me this: between you and he, who gets into more trouble?
Oh, he does.
I would have been surprised if you'd answered it any other way. I have to ask that question sometimes just to see what answer is going to come out on that. What do you enjoy doing? And I'll start with you, Kinley. What do you enjoy doing when you're not playing soccer? What are your favorite activities?
Well, I just love sports in general and love being outside. So I'll go, like, play tennis at the tennis courts or, like, go. Like, I really like to I like movies, so I'll go to a movie or sometimes. But I really like being outdoors a lot.
Mia?
I love. It's very. I love to cook. I like cooking with my family.
Now you got to tell me
Okay.
what you cook.
I don't know, just anything. I'll find something and cook it. And
Do you watch the cooking channels on TV?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
You see, so they have that youth baking competition that you ought to try to think about entering that.
Maybe I might. I should.
Yeah, I'm the one that's pushing you in
Okay.
that direction
Yes,
in this
sir.
case. I've not had that answer. I did the coaches show a few times last year. I've not had that answer yet, cooking, and that's really appealing on that. Now, tell me what both of you, what other activities at USJ are you involved in other than sports?
Oh, other than sports.
SGA.
I'm the SGA vice president. So we like organize all of the student affairs and stuff like that.
Okay, how do you enjoy that particular activity? Because, I mean, you've got to be a leader
Yes, sir.
to be successful doing that.
I like being in charge of things. So I think it's fun to run like the homecoming and like stuff like that, like dances, and it's fun.
Oh, that's fabulous. How about you?
I'm our class president, so I like organizing like homecoming themes, and just last year we did prom,
Oh, yeah.
and that was a lot, but it was fun.
I'm not going to tell you how many years ago that I was involved in proms and those kind of things. It goes back longer than you want to think about on that. When it comes to particularly, you're part of a program that has won 2 state championships, and you know the kind of success that you've had. How much is that important to you to maintain that legacy for USJ soccer? Because you've been so hugely successful.
It'd be great to end the season that way. Like, as a senior, it'd be really great. We just have to keep working as we are. We just have to keep working hard and hope for the best.
I would think, well, we've had the same team the last 2 wins, so it's a little different this year, but I think we can do it. It's just a new team, different team, but it'd be fun to win, and I think we can.
Well, as they always say in almost any sport, it's so important to gel when you are at the tail end of the season than when it is at the beginning of the season. I know particularly in basketball, that's the way it's looked at. You played basketball for a little while, but you say you've given that up. Why did you decide to?
Just focus on soccer. I'm trying tennis, trying some new sports, just trying some different things senior year.
Well, that's great, and I think that's terrific that you have that opportunity to do that because, candidly, when I was in high school, again, more years than you want to know, there were only 2 opportunities for girls. That was tennis and basketball. Girls basketball and tennis were the only 2 opportunities. We didn't have soccer at that point in time. So, it is so the landscape has changed in women's sports so much over the last 20 to 25 years. We've got about 1 minute left, so I'm going to ask you for each one of you to give me a quick answer on this. What do you want to do when you finish USJ? What's your goal?
Right now, my top 2 colleges that I'm looking at are University of Tennessee at Knoxville and University of Arkansas.
Okay.
And right now my major's undecided, but I'm leaning towards the medical field.
Oh, fantastic. We need more people to go there. All right, how about you, Mia?
Well, I've only applied to University of Arkansas, so I plan to go to there and then after go to culinary school.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Culinary school is huge. I can see you on Chopped one of these days. I'm going to look for that because, and you better do that real soon because I don't want to get too old that I can't really focus on that. I want to thank you both for joining us tonight because it's been great to get to know you and just wish you the best of luck, not just on the soccer field, but in the rest of your senior years at USJ. It's been fun having you here.
Thanks for having us.
Kenley Hines and Mia Powell, they're seniors on the USJ girls soccer team. When we come back, we've got 2 of their teammates. They'll be joining us right here live from the Blacksmith Restaurant in downtown Jackson on the USJ Coaches Show.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
At Nest Realty Jackson, connections and relationships are at the heart of everything we do. We wake up every day with the goal of helping our agents build trust, relationships, and community. Let's connect.
If you are in need of luxury interior design services, look no further than Campbell King Interiors. Based in Jackson, Tennessee, Caroline Campbell and Erica King have a combined experience of 31 years. From residential design services to commercial construction, no job is too big. Let Campbell King Interiors transform your vision into reality. You can find them at www.campbellkinginteriors.com or on Instagram and Facebook.
And we're back live from the Blacksmith Restaurant right here in downtown Jackson, Tennessee. It's the USJ Coaches Show, and we're continuing with 2 other members of the USJ girls soccer team. We've got with us Ava Rose and Ava Barham, and so if I say Ava, they'll both look this way, and we'll totally confuse our viewers. So good to have you both with us. And both of you are seniors, so let's talk first to Ava. And I'm going to ask you some of the same questions that I asked the other young ladies. What was it that compelled you to play soccer in the beginning when you first decided you wanted to do that?
Oh, well, when I was little, I really didn't like it.
We've got the first honest answer right here.
I mean, as I got older, I just grew to love it, and I just didn't quit since.
It just had to grow on you.
Yeah,
I guess
you could say that.
What age were you when you first started, or when you were put into a youth soccer league?
Probably about 4 or 3.
Okay, yeah, I've been hearing 4 and 5 years old, and that's early. And I can understand sometimes maybe it does take a while for it to stick in with you and that. Ava Barham, who is a young lady that I said I knew that this was her because I called her name so much last year when I was calling USJ basketball, and she's going to be out on the court again this year. Ava, how about you? What was it that compelled you to play soccer to start with?
I've always just been like competitive, and like soccer's like a very physical sport, and I grew up always outside playing. I've never been like a TV watcher. I've just always enjoyed being outside competing. And I played up until I played 6th grade.
Yeah.
And then I decided, I was like, I don't think I want to play 7th grade year. And so I took 7th grade year off, and I like really like realized how much I missed it and like how it was like a key part in my life. And so I came back my 8th grade year, and I've just loved it a ton since. So.
Oh, well, that's the kind of thing that, particularly if you're successful with it. And speaking of success, I want you both to show your rings. There they are, right there. State championship rings for is this for both seasons?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for the last 2 years, state championships in girls soccer in their classification, and that had to be a huge, huge feeling to win it,
awesome.
Not just once but twice.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like, particularly the first year when you won state?
The first year, it was very surreal. Like, no one, I guess, really on the team have ever felt like a feeling like it, because that was the first time any of us on the team had, like, won something that big. And I guess you don't realize how big of a deal it is until you're, like, in the moment, and you're like, oh, my gosh. Then you wake up the next morning, you're like, no way, that just happened. And it's just, like, super cool, surreal feeling.
Now, Ava Rose, tell us about this. Then when you won it the second year in a row, because they always talk about how in sports it's awfully hard once you've won a big title to then defend it and be able to come back. What was it like to do it the second year in a row?
I mean, it was definitely a challenge. Like, we ended up playing the same team in the state championship. They were still a good team, but we just ended up outworking them, beating them in the long run. I mean, again, it's just another surreal feeling. It's just fun to experience again. Like, all the feelings came back from the first one. Like, it was great.
Well, and I can tell you from having called some state championship games in various sports and with Union University some national championships, there is no feeling like being at the top and and knowing that you have accomplished that at the top of your goals. We want to meet you up close and personal and find out a little bit about your family. So, Ava Barham, you tell us about your family and how many are in it and what you enjoy doing when you are off the soccer field.
I have obviously my mom and my dad, and then I have a half brother, and he's married and has one kid who I love, Leland, my nephew. He's great.
Not spoiled at all, right?
Oh, not at all. Well, my dad, he's very competitive. I act just like him. Like, I'm a mini him. Everyone tells me I look like my mom, but I act just like my dad. He's always training me in the gym, pushing me to go harder. Definitely where I get my competitiveness from. I like lifting weights at the gym, hanging out with my friends, family. Like, I like just driving to my brother's house because he lives out in the country kind of. So I'll randomly just go fishing with him. I'll go just hang out with him. Yeah.
So you like the outdoors greatly.
Yes, sir. I do.
Oh.
I'm not I don't like being inside at all.
You feel like you're almost like you're cooped up when that
Yes,
happens.
sir.
All right. Let's find out about your family.
Well, I have a mom and a dad and a little younger sister who's a freshman this year.
All right. Who gets picked on the most?
Oh, definitely my younger sister.
Do you have any part in that?
Of course not.
No, never. But tell us more about your family and what you like to do when you're not playing soccer.
I mean, we like to work out and stuff. And, I mean, we like to travel a little bit, go on little road trips and everything.
What's the most fun place you've ever visited?
Probably Curacao. It's in the Caribbean.
Okay.
That was real fun.
Oh, I bet that was.
Yeah.
Did your family travel much?
We'll go during the summer, maybe fall break, spring break.
Mm-hmm. Did you make a trip this summer?
Yes, sir.
Where
well,
to?
My dad has family that lives in Orange Beach. They live on an island, and so we stayed with them and just hung out with family. So it was nice.
Oh man, that's terrific, and that is a great place to visit.
It's nice.
So many friends of mine I know that's one of their favorite vacation places. All right. Now, you play basketball as well as soccer.
Yes,
How difficult is it to transition from one sport to the other when basketball season comes along?
I'd say the worst part's honestly like on my body. Like I'm always like going from the grass to like the wood. It's
And you're a post player, so that
I'm still getting beat up like either way.
Yeah.
But I like to, scuff up some other people. So
Yeah. And boy, I'm telling you what, when you got somebody like Halen Ayers and some of your other teammates out there, I mean, they're fun to, all of you are fun to watch, but I get that because you have to take a lot of the punishment down underneath.
Yes, sir.
It's pretty tough. Now, what other sports do you play or do you other than soccer?
I actually just committed to play soccer at Carson Newman.
Carson Newman,
Yes,
fantastic. Sir. Oh, my goodness. So what do you want to do with your life if you know right now, or if you have an idea, what do you want to do with your life after you graduate college?
I want to major in exercise science and on the path to be a sports medicine physician.
Boy, we need a lot of them after particularly just think about what Ava just talked about, her getting beat up all the time.
For real.
Yeah, and trust me, the older we get, we need sports medicine for people like me as well because it hits you very, very hard. Ava, what do you want to do and where are you looking at college?
I'm pretty much set on going to Ole Miss,
Okay.
and I'm going to major in nursing. I'm going to get my bachelor's in nursing, and then hopefully be a travel nurse, and then I'm going to try to walk on the soccer team there. So.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, you've got it made. You can combine all of your interests where that's concerned. Tell me what both of you do, and I'll start again with you, Ava Rose, on this. Tell me what you enjoy doing as far as other activities at USJ.
I mean, I'm on the track team. That's fun, just the relays and just competing against people. It's fun.
So you do that. Now, how about any other in-school activities?
I'm in a bunch of clubs. Like I like participating in those. I just recently joined the Buddy Club, where you work with like special needs kids, and you go
that's
out
terrific.
to like this little farm, and you help them ride horses and everything.
Oh, yeah, because I did a story one time about how that really helps a lot of those young people with their gaits when they are doing that on horseback, and it is really different. Yeah, we've got an exciting bunch right here behind us here at the Blacksmith, so come on down any Wednesday night. We enjoy it. Ava, from your standpoint, what kind of school activities are you involved in?
Well, I also do track. I'm also in a bunch of clubs.
What's your favorite club?
Probably FCA, which is Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's probably the one I'm most involved in. I'm doing Lights, Camera, Fashion this year. It's like it's a fundraiser for St. Jude.
Yeah.
That's not really in school, but we do a bunch of like things with the school to raise money. So.
Tell me, what is it like to be seniors and to be leaders on this team? Because you know what it meant to you, let's say, when you were freshmen and sophomores and you had people to look up to. What does it mean to be a leader on this team?
I just like setting good examples. We all lean on each other. It's definitely not just like a four-man show. It's like we all work hard, and we all have a bunch of like young kids stepping up this year. Same for basketball too. We had a bunch of young people step up last year, and yeah, we just try to be the best role models we can be.
How about you?
I mean, another thing, like just send good examples for our younger teammates. Like we always want to be a good example to everyone and show them how to lead, maybe if they want to be it, or if they're a captain in the future.
If you get to the point and you have later in life, if you have a family of your own, what would you say to a child about getting involved in soccer? What would you encourage them to do the same thing that you were encouraged to do?
I would definitely encourage it. I wouldn't like force it upon them if they weren't like interested in it, because I know what it's like to be forced upon something you don't want to do. It's not the best feeling. But I'm definitely going to try and push my kids too. But if it's not their thing, it's just not their thing.
I got you on that. And you talk about exercise science and the things. What is it that really appealed to you about that field? Because so many more people are going into that than when I was in school.
Well, I just always like being involved with like athletic, like sports, anything that involves athletes, and I just like really wanted to stay in that like groove and be able to work with more athletes in the future.
What is when you think about what you do, and practice is tough. I understand practice is tough no matter what day it's out there. What is the thing that you like best about practice, and what is the thing you like least about it?
The thing I like most is probably just being with everyone. Coach Paul is a great coach. He always keeps it fun. It's always entertaining. We always have some type of fun game. Yeah, it's just fun being around everyone. We're just a big family.
But what do you like least?
Oh, least? Conditioning.
I would have been surprised if you'd said anything else.
Yeah, we had some tough conditioning this year, but it made up for a few games that we didn't get to make, but
it pays off in the long run.
it did pay off, yes, sir.
All right, tell me your end of it.
I mean, my favorite thing to do is scrimmage and like get at it with each other and just make each other push harder and get better.
But it's a lot more fun when you get against somebody else than your teammates.
Yeah, you get to beat up someone else.
It's like I said with football this year. I said we had the jamboree about 3 weeks ago, and then I said the guys, they've been in practice, they've been in camp, and they've been hitting each other, and now they want to hit somebody else. That's the way that goes. So when do you make the transition from soccer to basketball? Do you do that in early November?
Yes, sir. It's like the Monday following the championship game, so I may get like one day off.
Well, but that's part of it. And,
yes, sir.
Being a multi-sport athlete like that, I can understand all of that. And I want to wish you a lot of luck because I'm looking forward to seeing you guys out on the court this year. It's been great to have you both here tonight and get a chance to meet you and to learn more about you up close and personal, and wish you great luck all the rest of the way during the season.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Well, Ava Barham and Ava Rose, and they are two of the other seniors on this USJ girls soccer team. When we come back, we'll visit again with the coaches in our final segment. So everybody stay with us live right here from the Blacksmith Restaurant in downtown Jackson.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
No matter where you are, you can shop 24/7 at HumboldtDodgeChryslerJeep.com with the area's largest used car inventory.
Turn to the experts. Since 1955, Garrett Plumbing and Heating has been the leader in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and installation for West Tennessee. A proud supporter of USJ Bruin Athletics, we are your local Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Call Garrett Plumbing and Heating 668-3339 for all of your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
I find out all kinds of things during the break when we're here on the USJ Coaches Show, and we're glad to have you back.
Don't share them stories now.
But I got a good one. I have a really good one, a positive one. But it's good to have you all joining us tonight and reminding all of you that we are here every Wednesday night at 7:30 for the USJ Coaches Show. Those of you who are parents or who are friends of the players, doesn't matter what sport we're doing, and we are doing football tonight. We are doing that. But in all sincerity, come on down and enjoy the food and the fellowship, because it is a great cuisine here at the Blacksmith, and I think you're going to enjoy just the fellowship with all the athletes and the coaches if you'll come on down. So make it a date for that next Wednesday night at 7:30. Well, I've got Coach Paul Conway and Coach Matt Pledger back with us, and I just found out that you have a son who is a very successful player down at Mississippi College. Tell us about him.
Well, he's had some success. He's a sophomore at Mississippi College in Clinton, Mississippi.
Gulf South
Conference. Yep. He's a USJ alum, played football and soccer and a little bit of basketball at USJ. But This past week, he was fortunate enough to be named Gulf South Conference Special Teams Player of the Week.
Fantastic.
So he had a game-winning field goal against Kaiser University in West Palm Beach, Florida, 46-yarder. So that was, a big deal for us. Obviously, as parents, you want your kids to succeed, but obviously for him. But it's also, pretty speaks highly of USJ and the quality of athletes and students. He's a decent student too, so that USJ produces.
And it's got to make mom and dad very proud.
Absolutely, sure.
Yeah,
it does.
Well, tell him congratulations.
Thank you
us
very much.
tonight.
I know you're a union guy, but so.
Hey, I can deal with that fine.
There you go. Thank you.
And by the way, Ben is the son. The mom is Jamie. She's a teacher in the lower school there.
Mm-hmm.
She was a soccer player at Lambeth.
But also, yeah.
That's where he gets the kicking.
That's
from.
where he gets the kicking
Okay.
from. Not from me, definitely.
It's
most of the athleticism
mother,
comes
right?
from mom.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
You're the most modest guy I think I've ever been around.
Just give me some time. I'll start.
That's why I said I like these guys. They're a lot of fun to have around here. Okay, so you are on this journey now, and we're just getting into September. But it's one of those, how grueling is this season for both coaches but players as well? How grueling is soccer season?
Well, if you ask my wife April, she hasn't seen me in about 3 weeks, so she will tell you how demanding it can be, because your days are very long, and I'm sure you'd say the same. You do have to have a supportive family to be able to do it, but you leave the house at 7 a.m. And even last night, we get done with a game last night, and we're getting home at maybe close to 10 o'clock. So the days are long, but the season is kind of short. So you really try and get as much as you can into it. It really is a sprint, our season, if you will, because all of a sudden, we're in September, and now we're getting close to October, where it's playoff time. So you really have to be at your best almost immediately. So the season is short, but the days are definitely long.
Ava Barham was just telling me a minute ago that at the day after the state finals, then she's immediately transitioning to basketball after that. And that's a huge challenge.
And we have a lot of those students. We have a lot of those athletes who are multiple sport athletes. And, I think a lot of that has also led to a lot of our success as a soccer program, because you have girls who are, stay active and not only playing – school sports, but also a lot of them play club soccer, which, Paul here is very, very active in coaching for Jackson Soccer Club, and he spends a lot of time with that in addition to coaching at USJ and as a teacher also.
Yeah,
so.
Tell me what both of you teach.
I teach in all three. I'm one of the few that teach in all three departments. I'm in the lower school, middle school, and upper school. I teach in the French department, but I also teach personal finance and current events as well. So kind of multitasking there.
We didn't have personal finance when I was in school. I wish I'd
Don't
been
say
in your class.
You're getting the check here. You're picking up this bill.
No, and it's something I think everyone needs.
That's a Dave Ramsey answer right there. That doesn't wash with me, by the way.
I mean, we all need personal finance training on that. How about you?
I teach United States history to 11th graders, and also teach a class called human geography.
Okay. Now, what is human geography?
Human geography is basically explaining how people interact with the world. And, we talk a lot about agriculture, talk a lot about population and how population is distributed around the world. And it's a class I wish I would have taken when I was in high school. So.
I wish they'd had it when I was in high school.
I nearly dozed off.
Yeah, okay. This guy.
You poor students.
All right. Well, okay. Yeah,
I'm joking.
That's okay.
You've been around here 27
years.
So you're used
that's
to
right.
that.
I get in trouble for that one.
When you look at everything that you go through in the course of a season, what is, though, regardless of how the season ends up, what is so important to translate to these young women about being leaders personally? As opposed to just being great athletes?
Yeah, great question. I think if we just define, and that's, we talk about standards a lot. Our ultimate goal is always, you want to win state championships. But if we get to the end of the season and we don't do that, and we feel like we've not achieved our goal, we're doing it for the wrong reasons. And it sounds a little... I think as coaches, we just worry about what can we do today to make sure our standards are being set, and we set standards. We ask the girls for a commitment and to sacrifice certain times, and that they'll learn through that, right? The ups and the downs, and at the end of the season, we hope to be, always be the team that's celebrating at the very end of the season. But if we're not, we can look back and say, through it all, like the process, if you will. I know it's a bit coaching jargon, but what are we doing today? It's a process. It's every day, and every day we can get better. And at the end of it, if we've achieved it, fantastic, because it's the greatest feeling. But I've ended the season early and got an incredible amount from seasons as well, and teams and players. So, if we can focus on the process and set those standards, I do always feel like we'll win at the end of it.
Matt, how difficult is it to see young ladies graduate?
They'd actually, as we were sitting over here earlier before Coach got here, they asked me that question, and it always. It's a little bittersweet because, the idea that they're moving on, obviously they kind of, they're not going to be with you anymore, but also the fact that hopefully they're going out to do bigger and better things, and that's all we want, of our own biological children, but also of our students, of our athletes that we coach. So
I just spoke to each one of them about what their goals are after they graduate college, and I'm telling you, it just really gets to you to realize they've got definite goals in mind, and there's some, and I understand there's some young people that still haven't made up their mind, but they have they're very focused.
They are, absolutely.
I'm hoping to have a goal soon
myself. To yourself, yeah.
But we're very fortunate. This year we have, including the manager, we have 14 seniors. Last year I think we had 12.
Yeah.
So when you go through that process with them for so long, you really do develop a strong connection to them. You want them to succeed. So tomorrow we host Jackson Christian at 7 o'clock, and at 6:45 we'll be honouring our seniors, and we've got some terrific ones. And to be honest with you, with the class we lost last year and now this year, we're probably going to have to start coaching.
Yeah, we have to start coaching. That's right.
These are the real brains.
These are the
operation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right here, we're very lucky to have them. There's some wonderful kids.
I can understand why you're proud of all of them, because they, particularly the short time I had a chance to visit with them, and it's just how they present themselves.
It's nice to hear.
That is just a wonderful thing, and you love to see that for young people everywhere. So, okay, you got Jackson Christian tomorrow.
Yeah.
What do you expect from them?
It's always a tough game. I mean, it's a local rival, and very often they're the games that the players, they have friends on the other team, and the name is there, the rivalry is there. We had a tough game last night. We played Arlington, a very good program. We lost the game, but I think we can learn a lot from it. We felt like even through a loss, you can learn so much. There's a lot of lessons there. So we're just looking forward to the next game. We don't necessarily play the opponent. We really do focus on what can we do and how do we approach the game ourselves. But it is also a special event. We've got a beautiful facility. Philip Dunn does incredible stuff. And, we've got good support and a great faculty there that are always supporting our players. And we're excited, looking forward to the game.
Matt, I was going, because this was something that I was going to bring up, and Paul just gave me the perfect segue on that. What does it mean to have a school where you have such great parental support, as certainly in these 2 years I've been broadcasting for this school, to see the parents who are so prolific in their support of USJ?
Oh, it's fantastic, because every time we ever do anything, there's parents there, whether it's getting on a bus to go on a road trip, whether it's coming back from a road trip, whether, at the games. Obviously, a place like USJ that has that kind of parental support, that's not everywhere. And we're incredibly lucky, but we're especially lucky because of them allowing us to work with their young people, and they've done a great job of raising them. We're just kind of riding their coattails. So
well, you've got Jackson Christian coming up tomorrow. Now, next couple of games after that, who do you have on the schedule?
We travel next week to Hutchinson, who's a very good program. Obviously, another they a connection again. Clint Brown, their coach, used to be at Lambeth, and so we kind of go way back. And I think after that we've Trinity Christian then coming up as well. So we've got some really good games left on the schedule, and it's right around the corner. By the end of September, we've got fall break, but we also have the beginning of playoffs. So we're only a few games away from the playoffs part of it. So we're going to focus on tomorrow. We'll worry about that game, but we do have some great games coming up and some good home games as well.
And the game also will be live streamed right here on the BallGame Blitz Sports Network. So if you can't, we encourage you to come out in person.
Let's do it.
And offer your support. But it will be available live streamed right here on BallGame Blitz Sports Network, powered by Worthy Road Studios. And so we hope if you can't get out in person that you will tune in live and have a chance to see these young women, how they do. And believe me, you're going to see a great brand of high school soccer from top to bottom. So I guarantee you, though, if you come, you'll be hooked. Yeah. You'll be there, and you'll be there for every game after that in the process. I know how that goes. We've got about 2 minutes left. Tell us again, if you will, each of you in just your own words, what it means to be able to be part of a program like this.
Well, it's the institution, really, right? Obviously, I've been there kind of 10 years. I have a son now that's in 7th grade, and I see on a daily basis what goes on in the classroom. And again, we talk about standards, we talk about the mission, the pursuing of excellence, all of that. We live it, you know, we see it ourselves. So knowing that my son is in that environment, we know that when they're going to be safe, when they get to the fields, they're going to be challenged, they're going to be cared for. So it's on both sides of it as students and as athletes. So for us then to represent what is the institution itself and all the alumni that's there, we're kind of very fortunate, and our goal is to make sure that we pursue that excellence, that's the mission, you know.
Nat?
I can't add to that at all. That was perfect. So
see, you got off easy.
Well, I know, but that was
He's thinking of human geography.
Yeah,
right
human geography. Yeah, that's right.
Remember, he said he'd fall asleep.
But no, as a teacher, as a parent of someone who has graduated from the University School of Jackson, all I can say is I know my son is well prepared for college and everything after for life, and I know all these girls, 4 girls you talked to tonight, and every student that goes through, matriculates through University School of Jackson, has what it takes or what they need in order to be successful, and that's just a great feeling to be at a place like that. So.
I am so glad we had the chance to spend this hour together tonight, because not only to get to know you, but to get to know personally these 4 young women who are your seniors, and I can understand why you're both very proud of all of them. Wish you much success tomorrow against Jackson Christian, but also the rest of the season, and I hope we can visit again before it's over with.
It'll be wonderful. Thank you for having us, by the way, and yourself and Worthy Road Studios. They do a wonderful job, so thank you.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure, and tonight you've had the story of the USJ soccer program, and I know, as I say, tomorrow night, 6:45 will be the pregame, and 7 o'clock, that's when they will actually get it started, and you can see it live right here on the BallGame Blitz Sports Network, powered by Worthy Road Studios, with our executive producer, Paul Schultze. So for all of the folks here who have been part of tonight's hour, it's been great to have you with us, and until we're with you on Friday night, Stephen Aldridge will be calling play-by-play of the USJ and Jackson Christian game. It'll be at Jackson Christian this coming Friday night. Until then, this is Steve Beverly, live from downtown Jackson, Tennessee, and at the Blacksmith Restaurant, saying so long from the great hub city of West Tennessee.
Go Bruins.
The BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports.
The Jackson Rockabillys, Union and Bethel Universities, USJ, TCA, JCS, and Peabody.
Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers.
Thanks to the sponsors who make it all possible. BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.